All right, y'all. All right. We are officially back in the building. It's been way too long since your boy has been able to do one of these lives. Please bear with me here real quick. Just give me a second here. I need to do something real quick. Kind of bear with me here. Anyway, let me just go and share this on social media real quick. Like I said, it's been way too long since your boy has done one of these lives. A couple things going into this. A couple things. So first things first. Um, just kind of going into the future. I'm going to definitely try and make sure I do at least one live a week. Definitely on Thursdays, at 8 p.m. CST time. I haven't really been doing a whole bunch of lives in quite a while, but I'm really working on trying to get this channel back up. And it was going on Dark Room Entertainment. I'm really gonna try and get my lives back up and just going like more consistently. So I'm definitely gonna be trying to like do this at least once a week. I wish I could do it more, but work gets in the way. So that's number one. Number two, I'm definitely gonna try and put up a new video, at least one video per day. So live stream every Thursday, 8 p.m. CST time. I'll definitely let y'all know ahead of time if something's going on. But other than that, definitely expect a live because my I just want to get my watch hours back up, and I really want to push myself to get um this channel where I believe I can really get it to. Because I would honestly love to do this one day full time if I ever could. If I ever could. So those are the two things. Expect a live Thursday 8 p.m. CST time, and then one video every day except for probably like during the weekends. Those will be my days off. So and unless I probably don't have anything to honestly talk about, I definitely won't be streaming. But anybody in the comment section, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Because sometimes I can't really tell until I actually go back and listen to myself how it exactly sounds. So anyway, yeah, so I did come here with some topics, man. I had to think about a handful of stuff that's been going on out here in the last few days. So let's go ahead and not waste any time and jump straight into it. So the first things first, James Gunn's DCU um contract was extended. So this is the one thing I think a lot of people were worried about when it came to James Gunn um and Netflix obviously buying out Warner Brothers and everything like that. Was James Gunn going to be extended? A lot of people have been doing videos talking about the Snyderverse was coming back, and I'm just like, all right. I sat on the sidelines during that time. I really wasn't making any videos. I was like, let me see what's going to happen. And obviously, it looks like James Gunn is still in business. I think he only got maybe like a 4, 5, 6 month extension or something like that going into 2027. I don't know if that's kind of Netflix way of giving them an out. Like, all right, we'll give him a little bit more of an extension, see how he does over the next, was it 2025 right now? Over the next year with these movies. And if they don't do good, we'll just bring in somebody else. Um, so yeah, he got a contract extension. I'm hoping that this Supergirl movie is gonna be a little bit more serious than Superman, but I don't know. I ain't gonna get my hopes up. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. But would I honestly like to see James Gunn go? No, not really, man. Just because I just feel like it'd be too much, because this is his actors, his vision, and then to have to bring in somebody else to kind of do their own thing. It just wouldn't make sense. It just wouldn't make sense. So honestly, I think keeping James Gunn around, at least for the DCU, for what he's created and what he has going on, with the best thing. Because I have to bring in somebody else to kind of do a whole 180-degree turn and then put their own spin on it. And you got to roll with the actors that are already here. It just kind of wouldn't make sense. And plus, it's too early, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, if this thing crashes and burns within the next 2 to 3 years, and it ain't picking up a lot of numbers and ain't doing good in theaters, depending on how you know. The theater model goes in the future, then I can say, okay, yeah, then you can let them go. So yeah, man. Good for Warner Brothers or Netflix, whoever, that they got this man an extended extension, just for the simple fact that you want to have some type of some type of stable ground. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, for weeks, so many people have been talking about, oh man, if Netflix buys Warner Brothers, we're getting the DC EU back. Snyderverse is back. The Snyderverse is back. And I'm like, all right. I wasn't even feeding into the hype. I feel like like I said a million times over. If David Zaslav wanted to have the DCEU back, he would have brought back Zack Snyder or somebody else to come in and bring back the same actors, except for the Flash, and then go from there. But obviously, that's not what happened. So, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Anybody coming in, please hit the like button, share this on all your social media feeds. So that's the first thing. The second thing, Supergirl teaser. I kind of just threw this in there because there was a little teaser we had yesterday. I probably should have waited until after the official trailer or whatever comes out, but I believe that drops tomorrow. And just in here, I don't have a whole lot to talk about. Like I said, hopefully it's something good. I gotta see the suit though. Somebody was talking about the suit. I think Tara Magnus was saying her suit looks better than Superman's suit. I gotta check it out. I ain't gonna lie. The poster of her with the I guess the backdrop of the Superman logo, her with the jacket over her, man, it looks badass. The tagline, I think truth, justice, whatever. I think that was kind of funny. I did think that was kind of funny, man. So yeah, not much to talk about when it comes to the Supergirl movie. Like I said, hopefully it's a good one. I ain't gonna keep my hopes up. So not too much to talk about when it comes to Supergirl. Um, Avengers Doomsday. So there's been a lot of things I've been seeing floating around. I really haven't been paying attention to it because in this day and age, it's hard to stay in the dark when it comes to movie updates and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like who's gonna be in it or who's not gonna make it. It's hard to really stay in the dark. So there's been a lot of things, man. Somebody was saying on social media that the movie is supposed to take place right after Avengers Endgame. So basically, everything that happens post Avengers Endgame is I don't know if it's erased or if it doesn't really matter as much, and it doesn't really make sense simply because you got all these heroes who are going to be in Avengers Doomsday who didn't get really introduced until after Endgame. So it doesn't make sense that the history or everything that happens after Endgame would be erased. So it's just kind of confusing. And I think we're supposed to get a trailer or something tomorrow. So um, I have to definitely make some time in my schedule because I know the Supergirl trailer drops tomorrow. So definitely have to make some time in my schedule to do a reaction to that. But yeah, I haven't really looked up too much news as far as what's going on with Avengers Endgame because honestly, I just haven't really been as interested. Marvel just hasn't been on their shit lately. So, like I said, to me, what it always comes down to is the road to get to the next big movie. And lately, what they've been doing just hasn't been exciting. I don't remember the last time I even watched Marvel related. I think it was Daredevil. And that was like the last thing I watched Marvel related TV wise. I know they've got this Wonder Man project dropping, but I don't know if it's probably gonna drop sometime next year. But I haven't really gave too much attention to it outside of the trailers that I've watched. It just doesn't look all that good. It doesn't look all that good. So yeah, if anybody know anything about what's going on with the Avengers um Endgame, I mean not Endgame, Avengers Doomsday movie, let me know in the comment section because I honestly haven't been looking up too much stuff. And like I said, the only thing I know is just that. So it just doesn't make sense to me why Marvel would try to erase or treat things that happen after um Endgame as if it didn't matter. Because a lot of the heroes who are going to be in the movie are got introduced post that. So yeah. Next thing I guess we can just go ahead and jump into is Paramount coming for Warner Brothers. So I did a little bit of reading about this, man. Obviously, they put a whole bunch more cash up than what um Netflix did. But I don't know the way everything's looking, it's almost like it's a done deal as if Netflix is already getting all their ducks in a row to eventually when they move all of the HBO Max movies and things over to Disney Plus, at least the DC stuff. I don't know about everything after that, but it's like they're already kind of getting prepped to move everything over to the Netflix app. And I don't know, there hasn't been a whole lot of extra stuff coming out as far as what's going on with Paramount trying to buy Warner Brothers. I know a lot of people have been talking about whether this is a good thing and a bad thing. Some people are siding with Netflix, some people are siding with Paramount. And to me, I really wish that Warner Brothers would have stayed, you know, its own thing. instead of having to go through all these issues. Because it's like it's a super old studio that's been around since like the 1900s. I believe like 1923 or something like that. And you got Netflix that's only been around since like 97. They're only about 28 years old, and it's like they just came in and swooped up one of the most legendary studios of all time. And it's just like, man, this is crazy. And it was just like what 20 something years ago, 25 years ago, that Netflix was almost bought out by Blockbuster, and we obviously know how that went. And now here we are, and they're gobbling up one of the most legendary studios. And people are saying, like, look, with Netflix getting their hand on Warner Brothers, obviously, they're not looking to do they're not looking to stay in the theater model for too much longer. But then I remember seeing something on John Camp. You have to actually go back and watch it, where he said that the CEO, he kind of went back on his words and everything like that. I think it was just mostly the backlash from a lot of fans, that a lot of fans who still love going to the theater, like myself, even though I don't go as much as I used to, don't want to see the movie theater model end. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Ticket prices are high. Not everybody is out here trying to buy a membership to all these theaters. They just want to go enjoy the movies when they go enjoy them, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? So not everybody is going to be out here trying to spend $25, $30 a month for a membership, and I completely understand that. But yeah, it's just a crazy time we're living in, crazy time we're living in. And yeah, obviously when it comes to Netflix, they're big on streaming. They're big on having people sit in front of the TVs at home versus sitting in the theater. And to me, no matter what big ass TV you got, nothing will ever replace the big, huge theater model. Just being able to sit in that theater with this big, huge screen that you can't get at home. The IMAX experience, the movie theater popcorn, depending on what theater you go to, because I've had my experiences with popcorn ain't been too good. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, there's just been a whole lot of it's just been a whole lot of, stuff going on with that. So yeah, man, that was the big news I want to talk about, is basically um movie theaters and the issues with, Netflix, and of course Paramount coming out offering more money. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this turns out. And the last thing, I know I'm kind of flying through all this pretty quickly. Is this the beginning of Legendary Studios being gobbled up? I honestly don't know. In my personal opinion, is this the beginning of Legendary Studios being gobbled up by, like, possibly Amazon and Apple and of course Netflix in the future? Is this the end of, these big studios? Because obviously they're trying to fight Netflix on their own turf versus trying to do their own thing. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people are just kind of like shaking their head and looking at it like, maybe like sometime in the future, man, it could be another studio, because obviously money's getting tight. And I was watching Derek Anderson, DA, man. He, like I said, he dropped a real good video this past week where he basically went in and he just hit the studios in the mouth, where he was basically like, y'all need to go in and y'all need to, as far as the studios goes, y'all need to go in and y'all need to stop trying to fight Netflix on their own turf. You need to support the movie theater model, put movies in theaters longer than just a month or 2 months, because that's one of the main things that's the issue right now, is that a lot of people aren't going to the theater, one, because of ticket prices, and two, simply because, look at, the movies, they're getting put in theaters, and then you blink and all of a sudden it's like boom, they're out and streaming. And it's like, what's the point of going to waste all this money going to the movie theater when movies are just going to end up straight on the streaming within the next month? You know what I'm saying? It's like you might as well just save your money. It's like if you knew the movies that you wanted to see were not going to end up on streaming for at least another 2 or 3 months, then you'd have a reason to go see it, because it's like it ain't going to be in streaming for 2, 3 more months. Cool. But the way things are going, it's like movies are staying in movie theaters shorter and getting put out in streaming streamers is in a blink of an eye. Especially if the movie isn't doing good numbers wise, the studios are just pulling these movies out of the movie theaters and putting them straight in streaming, and it sucks, man. It really does. And like I said, this is where I do agree with Da when he says that you know, movie studio companies should be going against Netflix instead of fighting money on home turf and putting more movies in theaters a lot longer than just a couple weeks, man. It just doesn't make sense. And I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Um, but yeah, so that's basically all the topics I had to cover within a very short time frame. Anybody in the comment section, let me know about anything that I've just brought up. I do believe also we're supposed to be getting the Avengers Doomsday trailer tomorrow as well. That's something I've seen on social media. I'll have to wait and see. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be out and about, so I have to come home late and do my reactions for those. but most definitely expect a reaction to Supergirl. And if we get the Avengers Doomsday teaser trailer, that too as well. Um, I also did a video today where I talked about it was a review on Percy Jackson. I did a review on Percy Jackson and the first 2 episodes, and, I think it only got, like, 18 or 19 views. I haven't checked it out lately, but that first 2 episodes of this new season were really, really good. I'm super excited to see what they do with this TV show going forward. Um, I really enjoyed some of the first season. I know one of the biggest complaints was it gonna have more action in it? And so, you know, it does look like it's gonna be, like they put more money into the second season versus the first season. So I'm really excited to see what they do with it. And yeah, I just like what they did with it so far. It was a lot of fun. I like all the characters. Like I said, my favorite so far is Clarice. You know what I'm saying? Just how she acts towards Percy and everything like that. It's just funny. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Sea of Monsters, go check it out. It's on Disney Plus right now, and it's definitely worth checking out. It's definitely worth checking out. So that's that. But yeah, just kind of spinning the block on some of the things I've had a chance to talk about. Like I said, Supergirl. Somebody's saying there's a scene already where Superman is gonna get excuse me. Somebody said, and I've seen this thing on Tyrone Magnus and the 4KO. Big shout out to 4KO. Um, there's a scene where Superman gets peed on. What? Are we serious? I hope this ain't true, man. I hope this ain't true. But these people, obviously, they got deeper connections and they're able to get the news that a lot of us regular people can't get. But what? James Gunn, come on, man. Look, this is why I said I'd rather go back and watch the DCEU versus the DCU because no. I'd rather go back and watch. I would rather go back and watch the DCU versus the DCEU because it's like that's just taking it way too far. It's already enough that you had Crypto dragging them all around when he was beat up and hurt, and now you got Superman possibly getting peed on. Are we serious? This is stuff that people want to see, man. I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, Superman got some mixed reviews when it came to the fans. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I was not a big fan of it. So, like I said, fingers crossed, man. The Supergirl is at least a little bit more serious and better than what we get with Superman. But I ain't gonna hold my breath. Um, as far as the DC lineup going into 2026, let's go and talk about that a little bit. I believe what Clayface is coming out next year, Supergirl's coming out next year. I don't really understand why we're getting Clayface at all. It just doesn't seem to make sense. Like if it was me, I would have dropped Batman first and then eventually had Clayface eventually. But I just don't see anybody looking forward to that. If it was me, I'd probably just make that into like a TV show and slap it on HBO Max or something. It just doesn't make sense why we getting this Clayface movie and no Batman. So it's like, what is he supposed to be doing the whole entire time? And we've seen a bunch of these movies where it's been these focuses of I'm trying to think of like these characters, but without having any hero in there to stop them. You know what I'm saying? Like you see it happen with a bunch of the spin-off movies that we got with Spider-Man, like Morbius and Venom and all these other things like that. It's like without some type of hero or somebody in there trying to stop them, what is the whole purpose of us sitting here watching these movies? What is Clayface basically gonna be doing? I'm sure they got something to keep him busy, but it's just like really a Clayface movie, you know. So yeah, man, it's just a strange direction, man, that James Gunn is going in. If it was me and I was working with the DCU, Supergirl, Batman, Superman would be the main trinity I would lead with. I know we just got a lot of these characters um with um with the DCU, but it's like they're the big characters that obviously everybody wants to see. And I think he kind of switched up the trilogy, not the trilogy, but the Trinity a little bit by saying, okay, I'm gonna have Batman, Superman, but Supergirl in it. And I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not really as well known compared to obviously Superman, Batman, and even Wonder Woman. She's, obviously not to me, on the same breath and the same name as Superman and Batman, because obviously they've had more TV shows and toys and cartoons and things like that. And it makes more sense, obviously, for me to keep those three because they've been the Trinity for the DC brand for so long. And Supergirl is just kind of like, all right, she's basically Superman, but just a female. You know what I'm saying? That's just my point. That's just my point. So, y'all let me know. Do y'all have a trinity y'all would work with, man? For me, if it was me, I would keep it the same way: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. And I'd probably keep the Justice League the same. Aquaman, Green Arrow, not Green Arrow, excuse me, Green Lantern, and I think that'd be my pick for the Trinity. But since we're talking about DC, there's actually something on that had to be talked about, and what was it? Something else that had to be talked about. Oh yeah, the Batman. Okay, y'all. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm not really excited for this movie because I don't think we're getting it until like what 2027, and I think we're getting this until 2027. So yeah, it's just gonna be it's just I don't know. I'm just not really excited about it. I saw the update that we're not getting Zoe Kravitz coming back, and I'm not really disappointed about it. I'm not really disappointed about it because look, if y'all want to see a bunch of Catwoman in Batman movies, go watch the animated movies. Okay, there are probably like 3 or 4 movies that I done seen where Catwoman is constantly in the movies, teaming up with Batman in some way somehow, and it's just like, all right, we don't really need to have Catwoman in every single Batman live action movie. Now I know she left Gotham to go make a better life for herself, so they left it open for her to possibly return. I know we're getting shoot, who's the chick who played Black Widow? I forgot her name. Scarlett Johansson. She's gonna be coming into the DC the Batman part 2 movie. Not sure who she's gonna play. Um I think somebody had like a kind of image of her, half her face and half of like this I think Mask of the Phantasm. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. But yeah, somebody saying she could play that character. Obviously, her being a redhead or whatever color her hair is, off the bat, and us still being early in Batman's adventure. I don't know if this movie is supposed to take place right after the events of the last one, or if they're gonna move forward, 2 or 3 years later, which would make more sense, being that the movie is, um, you know, has come out like 3 or 4 years after the original, which makes zero sense to me whatsoever. I feel like, WB should have really worked to push this movie up a couple of years after the last one, 2 to 3 years tops, man. It just feel like it's been way too long since the last film, and it just doesn't make any sense. Um, yeah. So we'll see how this turns out. We'll see how this turns out. Um, there was some other stuff that dropped recently too. Oh yeah, the Avatar. I've seen a lot of people talk about this in the comment section, man. Basically, Avatar, not the way of water. I'm talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender hitting Netflix. So obviously, I know the actor who plays Aang has grown up, and it's crazy to see how much these actors grow in a short period of time. So the way I see it is like if the show started shooting in 2023, it came out in 2024, and now it's 2025, and next season they come out in 2026. It's like it's like 3 year gap, right? And so these actors are growing up fast, and obviously you see the look of Aang, and he's like supposed to be 12, but now he's older. And so it's just crazy, man, that these actors are growing up, just at a fast rate. Even if you look at Percy Jackson, Walker Scobell, who plays Percy, I mean, from season 1 to season 2, he's grown up so much in a short period of time. My first introduction was him in the movie with Ryan Reynolds, and then obviously playing Percy Jackson in this. But yeah, man, Aang looks, of course, older than what he did back then. And it's crazy when you look at season 1 versus season 2, and some of the other actors and actresses in the show look older as well. But I don't know. It's these long breaks, man. People are saying the same thing about I never watched it, but like Stranger Things, like all these long breaks in between seasons, and just how long it took to start shooting the second or third or fourth or fifth season, and how a lot of these actors and actresses are just they're obviously getting they're growing up fast. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like 12 years old in the first season, and all of a sudden now they're 15, they hit puberty, and the voice is deeper, and all those kind of different things. So yeah, it's just pretty wild. It's pretty wild, man. So I don't know. I'm still interested in it, but I can see why people are kind of like, not everything that is animated needs to be done in live action. Um Um, I like the layout. I like the animated and the main series, the one where you get to Korra I never watched. Um, and then the live action TV show was actually good. I enjoyed it. It was almost bit for bit the exact same thing that we got from the animated property. Obviously, some changes here and there, but I enjoyed it. And I hope that the second season is going to be good. But I do think that this is when Netflix should definitely probably put their foot on the gas and do seasons 3 or 4, however long it's going to last, back to back instead of having them so far apart. Because it's just, the actors are going up so fast. It's gonna be with a 3-year gap, and this dude's gonna be what, like damn near 18, 19, 20. By the time we see him again, it just makes no sense when Aang is still supposed to be a kid. So they definitely got to put their foot on the gas when it comes to um shooting these seasons. Anyway, I think I'm gonna have this live stream going for about maybe 5 more minutes, almost 4 more minutes. So 4 minute warning for about a half hour. Um, Anybody coming in, please hit the like and subscribe button. Like I said, my goal is to do one live stream every Thursday, 8 p.m. CST time. I would do this more during the day if I could, but my schedule doesn't allow it. And definitely gonna be trying to drop a video. I say one almost every single day. Um, Mixing in long form videos with my trailer reactions and things like that. So definitely expect that. Like I said, my numbers are going down drastically, and I'm not really too bunged up about it. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of accepted it, and I'm just like, I'm gonna just put the grind in, put the work in, and just have fun doing this. And hopefully, everybody who supports my channel supports my channel. So that's that. But yeah, man, anybody got anything they want to throw in as far as like what they think I've been talking about so far when it comes to just anything I've talked about? You know what I'm saying? Paramount, Netflix, movie theater model, different things like that. Anybody, anything they want to throw in? Because like I said, it's crazy this day and age we're living in, man, where it's like the only real way that these movie theater companies are even trying to get people to come back to the theater is with these expensive, unnecessary popcorn buckets. Because not everybody out here is going to spend all this money on these damn popcorn buckets. I mean, you had like the one for Fantastic Four, Galactus, which was like almost $100, and it's like nobody's gonna come out here and spend all that kind of money on popcorn buckets every month. When obviously, money's tight, and there's more important things people got to spend money on, like gas, groceries. You got kids, so it's just it's ridiculous to kind of spend that kind of money on popcorn buckets. The only reason I had one is because somebody that was in front of me hooked me up and gave me his. But other than that, I would never have one if it was me going to the theater because I would just probably have it sitting somewhere. I know it's a collector's item. It would just be sitting on my shelf somewhere. So that's that. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I mean, that's basically about it. There's not a whole lot going on. There's something personal I kind of wanted to say. I've been kind of curious, and I know I've talked about this before about the Rippaverse and kind of seeing what is going on there. I haven't looked into too much of what Eric Schleier's been going on. I kind of took my foot off the gas and really haven't paid too much attention to it. But I really need and should get into collecting comics. That's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and a lot of Marvel and DC. I started reading a little bit of Static, and I need to get more of the issues because I really want to know more about his character. I've only seen his character on TV, so I definitely want to get more about him. Obviously, other characters, big ones like Superman, Batman, The Flash, all these other characters, from Marvel to DC, like Captain America and different things like that. Because there's some interesting comics out there. Even like the Power Ranger comics, the Boom Studios, man, I've been wanting to get into those. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I really want to get into. And last minute warning that I've been wanting to get into that eventually I will. Eventually I will. But comics ain't cheap in this day and age, especially with like the superhero boom and all these comics being like, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost $9 a pop, depending on where you go. And yeah, I'll get around to it eventually. So I'm gonna just take my time, one comic at a time, and then just go from there. But anyway, thank you anybody and everybody who could join tonight. I'll definitely be back next Thursday. I know today's Wednesday. I had to kind of switch up because I'm busy. But I'm back next Thursday, 8 p.m. CST time. Um, just doing one live a week and trying to put out as many videos as I possibly can. And I'm grateful for anybody that supports my channel, watch my streams, come through, hang out. I'll definitely try and get some people on, but I'm kind of iffy because I've had some issues in the past. but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, thank you all for dropping by. Catch you on my next live stream. It means a lot that anybody out here is supporting this channel. I'm gonna go ahead and end it, and I'll definitely see you in my next one. Like I said, live streaming Thursdays, 8 p.m. CST time, at least one video, at least trying to get out per day. See you on my next one. I'm out.